In this video, we'll be going over the trim, extend, and sketch tools. Now these are pretty simple, and I have 3 examples laid out that I think will demonstrate pretty well what these tools do. First, let's start with the trim and extend tools. These two are complements to each other. They do the opposite things. So trim will get rid of a line or other geometry up until it intersects with another piece of geometry. So I have a line here that is passing through a rectangle. Let's say I only was interested in the part of the line that was inside of this rectangle. In other words, all this extra line that was outside of this rectangle, I wanted to be deleted. I don't have to delete the entire line and draw a new one. I can click on the trim tool, click on the outside of the line, and it gets rid of all the line up until the point where we've reached that edge. I can do the same thing on the inside, except now if I click it, since there's nothing on the outside, it will just be deleted. Let's go back a little bit, just click Ctrl-Z to undo, and there's other ways I can trim. I could click on this line that makes up the rectangle and get rid of that if I want. It deletes it up until it hits the next geometry. So play around with that. It's an interesting tool. Extend is its complement. It creates and finishes a line up until it hits the next geometry. So if I click on this line, it will extend the line up until it reaches the rectangle. So I will click, and as you can see, the line has been extended. Now, so that's extend, and you can see their complements, and you definitely play around with those. The last thing we're going to look at is stretch. When you are making edits, stretch will allow you to keep some geometry the same and change, and at the same time change other geometry to meet those edits. So I have 2 circles here, and they're connected by a line. If I highlight with my green box, we're using specifically the green box now, anything that is entirely in the green box will remain the same, while anything that is partly in the green box or anything that crosses the boundary of the green box will not remain the same. It will be stretched. So if I wanted this circle that I've now highlighted to be further away from the circle I've not highlighted, but I wanted that line to remain between them, I would use this stretch tool. So I'm going to select my base point, and I'm going to pick right here. If I select this point, I'm going to get a little pop-up box. And this is just asking me if I want to keep this geometry the same. I'm going to click yes. And you can see as I drag this around and move the circle stays the same, and the line adjusts to meet the changing position of that circle. And that is stretch. And so you could play around with that and other tools, and I'll see you in the next video.